Oh, hey, Tally. What are you doing here?
Oh, hi, Evie. Gen sent for me to come and collect a very important and secret mission.
Oh, wow. Me too. It must be very important. Where is he?
I think he's over there. Somewhere.
It seems pretty busy.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to get the message secretly with all the...
Yo, Gen! We're here!
Aha! Welcome, champion!
I was told you had a secret message for us.
Yes, but it's very secret. Do you promise not to tell anyone?
Yeah, I promise.
Okay, good. Well...
Wait, hang on. Okay, I'm ready. Load me up with the secret stuff.
Right, good. Well, okay. So the secret is...
He's such a good boy.
Mission.
Knowledge is power.
Hello Internet, Taliesin here, and welcome to another episode of the Weekly Reset, Taliesin and Evitel's Wondrous Wisdom Show. And look, I don't want to alarm anyone, okay? But Shadowlands will be releasing next week. And we are well into the pre-patch proper now too, with the first narrative questing going live last week, which we will talk about, giving us a brand new cinematic, which we will talk about, Icecrown dailies and rares, which we will definitely talk about, and also apparently some Scourge Invasions. And look, this is a little bit embarrassing, okay, so please don't laugh at me, but there's no easy way to say this. Has anyone seen any Scourge Invasions at all? I guess we'll talk about that, but the most important thing is that now the pre-patch has really started. We've got actual new content to play and a reason to be in game. Guild channels are humming, capitals are full, and the forums are awash with chatter and laughter and love, like it's the first day back at school after the summer, seeing all your buddies again for the first time in months and just loving it. 3 cheers for the pre-patch event. I have never posted here before and I may never post again, but I just had to log in so I could say, man, is this pre-patch a stinking pile of stanky horse excrement or what? Oh. This event is a disgrace. This event is trash, good job. This event kinda sucks. This pre-patch event is just awful. Put forth a modicum of effort here. This event is bad, WoW team. You should feel embarrassed with this steaming pile of garbage you call a pre-patch event. Oh no, it was a shit show, obviously. Sorry, I was late. I wasn't ready. That was earlier than it usually is. Great pre-patch event. I've had pet battles more entertaining than this. Yeah, okay, I get it. People don't like the pre-patch event, fam. Actually, that's not really fair. Plenty of people like it just fine, including me. And true, that could be because of my aforementioned desperation for any new WoW stuff at all. Like, if you didn't allow me to drink a beer for a year, and then promised me some beer, and then postponed the beer, but then eventually gave me a warm Budweiser, then in the moment it hits my lips, that disgusting weak piss juice is going to taste like the sweetest heavenly hot nectar brewed on the teats of a goddess, even though really, it's a bit shit. So maybe it's that, or maybe it's the fact that I have like 20 alts to gear up, so I'm very busy is the reason that I'm having fun. But for the sake of argument, let's say that the entire community uniformly hate it as much as these comments, and in fairness, plenty of other comments suggest, and that this pre-patch is, in fact, an absolute joke, and any developers who care about the state of the game should be ashamed to push this to live. Why? Well, the first complaint was, as most of us must have expected really, as the servers went up after a lengthy maintenance and hundreds of thousands of players flooded their realms and were all told to go and pick up a quest in the exact same place and talk to the exact same NPC. Gen Greymane in the fairly spacious and open Lion's Rest for Alliance, and Lorthamar for Horde, who, hilariously, was standing on the roof of the throne room in Orgrimmar, which is not only tiny and cramped, but which you also need to be mounted to get to, which just added to the massive scrum. Like seriously, why are you up there, Lorthamar? And don't tell me it's to escape the Scourge Invasions, because I was here the minute these servers opened, and seriously, are there supposed to be Scourge Invasions? Are there Scourge Invasions or what? I don't know, I'm just asking. So, you couldn't see the quest givers, and if you did click on a quest, you didn't know if you had anyway because of all the horrendous lag. So much lag, can't get a thing done. Yeah, we have Icecrown and now Eastern Laglands as well. I would love to help Liz, but I can't see a freaking thing because people are crowding around NPCs. But that's not the end, of course, because once you managed to pick up the quest, that sent you to talk to someone else in town, and the exact same thing happened all over again, GG. But honestly, I kind of wouldn't want it any other way. Obviously, it would totally blow if WoW was this round and slow all the time, and obviously this nonsense was cleared up by the very next day. And with that in mind, I really like how full and broken the zones are on launch day. I'm sorry, but is there anything more exciting in MMOs than when everyone is playing and doing the same stuff as you? Yeah, okay, so it took me like 10 minutes to pick up a quest, but for me at least, it was just great to be in a place with tons of other players. It's one of the things I like about MMOs. And let's be honest, we needed all those other players lining the streets because there weren't any Scourge to fill the gaps, were there? Like, seriously, Blizz did say there were going to be Scourge Invasions. Like, I didn't dream it, did I? That would be weird, because these days I mostly dream about getting sleep, because I don't get much sleep. But like I say, it has calmed down now. Blizz added a dismount aura so our boys couldn't get swamped by yaks, and there's even space to enjoy the stay a while and listen dialogue from some of the other characters there now too, like Kalia clarifying her role in the Forsaken, and sure, the #1 top boss 9-carat super spy alliance man just totally accidentally telling Talia that the Lich King is her dad because he's such an awesome, amazing spy and brilliant at keeping secrets. And after that very unsocially distant start, you could either go questing in Icecrown or over to Maris Stead for a date with a world boss for some Nathanos slaying action. And knowing that there was a new cinematic attached to that event, that is exactly where I headed. And the fight is actually really good. I mean, it's a bit of a free-for-all if you just turn up in war mode, and obviously I'm always in war mode, so prompt use of the in-game group finder is usually a necessity. You need a lot of you, and his mechanics hit hard. If you stand on the roof of his house, he will shout, "I see you cowering up there," and just basically insta-kill you by shooting you off. His barrage ability does mean AoE damage, but at least the green pools that other players spawn are easy to survive, as long as the other players take them out of melee, which they never do. So actually no, the green pools are horrible and can go and eat my shit and hair. And in such a brutal fight, it's not uncommon that a few people in the group are going to die, right? Which happens in world bosses, it's no big deal, just release and run back, right? Oh, except at launch, if you released and then Nathanos died as you were running back, then the quest completed, but you got no loot or cinematic, or any indication that you were supposed to get loot or a cinematic. So in years to come, we will still have players that killed Nathanos here, discovering the awesome Nathanos death cinematic for the first time and being like, huh, that's really cool, and actually also explains quite a lot of the stuff that I didn't understand in Shadowlands. In hindsight, maybe it wasn't the worst expansion ever after all. And so, to that cinematic, which managed to be much more than the action set piece that it appears on the face of it. And yes, hi, this is a rammed into the middle of the weekly reset Taliesin Talk cinematic analysis. A shorter one than usual. Enjoy! We get to enjoy Nathanos gleefully making his last stand against the players and seemingly holding his own pretty well before the sky darkens in eclipse, like in Darkshore, which Nathanos knows as well as we do these days can mean only one thing: the Night Warrior, Tyrande, is on hand. The eclipse not just being a cool visual cue, but also a not very subtle metaphor for the darkness that now envelops the leader of the Night Elves. Her arrow zings out of the shadows and yoinks Nathanos back out of sight, pinning him to the wall of his home, the place he has chosen to make his stand and fight. In direct contrast to the Elves of Teldrassil, whose home was at the mercy of the invading Horde army at the beginning of BFA. And as Tyrande emerges from the darkness that arguably Nathanos helped plunge her into with his actions, he seems pretty happy to see her, even when she drops a starfire on his doggos. And look, you don't need me to tell you that Jim Pirri is doing some of his best Nathanos voice work in this either. What a fuck, I like Nathanos now. The fight itself is short and sweet, reminiscent of the Sylvanas Sourfang duel outside the gates of Orgrimmar, in that it's basically one character pretty much effortlessly disposing of the other. There is barely a sign of effort from Tyrande, let alone emotion, as she disarms and incapacitates our hero, I mean our prey, not even moving her head to look at him, at her mercy. He notes how her power has grown, which he should know since he actually managed to put up a bit of a fight last time they were toe-to-toe in Darkshore last expansion. And when she asks where she is, meaning Sylvanas, Nathanos is...
with him, of course.
Can't hide the tinge of jealousy that this total Sylvanas stan feels towards the jailer and Sylvanas' allegiance to him. But that doesn't stop him launching into a good old-fashioned total bad guy monologue at the very last, crowing about how all the Night Elves burned to ash are in the darkest place with them. And Also, I'm pretty sure, making fun of the way Malfurion cries out,
Tyrande.
in Val'sharah in Legion. Also the first place we saw this eclipse effect in Ysera's death cinematic. But anyway, his monologue is cut short as Tyrande, again, pretty emotionlessly dispatches him mid-evil taunting. But this moment of revenge, of justice against one of the architects of the destruction of her entire world, the mass murder of her people, doesn't come as any relief or catharsis for Tyrande. Her is tired, perfunctory, because as she symbolically walks back into the darkness, which hasn't cleared any by her actions here today, we realise it's not even really about Teldrassil anymore, and we wonder if this darkness which is consuming Tyrande and leaving her so hollow, and also really drying out the skin under her eyes, can even be lifted with the killing of Sylvanas. Many have pointed to Tyrande's owl that always seems to appear with these eclipses in the cinematics, which she never used to have before she became the Night Warrior, watching all this unfold and apparently leading her on to the next revenge here. Like, maybe this is some kind of embodiment of a loon that comes with the Night Warrior's power. And yeah, that's a cool question, but I want to talk about Nathanos, because as he himself says, this isn't quite the meaningful major lore character death that it should be. We all know by now that he is totally on his way for a reunion with a Dark Lady in the Moor right about now, but my question is, did Sylvanas actually want that? At the end of Shadows Rising, it's quite clear about how disappointed she is in Nathanos for failing his mission, and I really love the idea that Nathanos causing all this trouble and getting ganked is so that he can turn up on Sylvanas' doorstep unannounced, which, okay, is definitely creepy and don't do it in real life, boys, but here is only pretend, which makes it quite funny. It's like he sent her 100 texts which she didn't respond to, so he thought he'd just go out and get murdered, just to swing by the moor, coincidentally, to check how everything's going. That's my headcanon anyway, I'm totally living it until the game tells me otherwise. So the cinematic was totally worth the patch alone, in my opinion, assuming you saw it, which you might not have done. And also, if you did get it in-game and watch it, then Nathanos will have respawned by the time it ended and killed you again, but at least you still got your guaranteed 115 item level weapon drop though. Assuming it actually dropped, that is, which it might not, and assuming it was actually usable by your spec, which apparently wasn't guaranteed either. Nathanos is giving everyone the wrong weapon! What a crap show! Come on, Blizz, get it together! Woohoo! Loving my mace as an assassination rogue! That's funny because assassination rogues can't use maces. That has reportedly been fixed now, and of course Nathanos is still lootable in this week's reset too, but yeah, a little bit annoying for sure. Then there was Icecrown and the very short questline and dailies, which are genuinely quite fun. Apart from the mushroom one, obviously, because look, I'm not angry, okay? It's an easy mistake to make, okay? But that mushroom quest where you have to collect the fungus from the mushrooms, which are targetable, it's not your fault for not knowing this, okay? Although it is kind of in the quest text, but okay, fine. I'm not blaming you for not reading the quest text, even though that is quite an easy thing to do, but you're supposed to kill the baddies on top of the mushrooms so that the mushrooms grow big, and when they can't get any bigger, then you kill the mushrooms, and then the mushrooms give you 10 fungus each, and that way it means you only have to kill 2 mushrooms instead of spending half an hour running around like an idiot getting one at a time, because people who I'm pretty sure haven't read the quest text, but that's fine, are just killing any mushroom they can find. And okay, so that was totally me killing the mushrooms for the entire first day, but I know better now, and so do you, so let's be feeding those mushrooms next time. I'm on a schedule. But generally, the dailies aren't going to take very long, which means you can either be done for the day, move on to an alt, farm random mobs for Scourge stones to buy those level 100 gear sets, which apparently are a recolor of the Stromguard sets and not just the Stromguard sets, or you can go out hunting rares for even more Scourge stones, or if it's Bronjam, the biggest bag in the game, 34 slot bag, don't mind if I do. And when I say hunting, what I mean is of course going onto Wowhead, looking at which boss is next on the strict 20 boss, 1 every 20 minute cycle that Blizz have decided to go with, fly to where you know it'll spawn, kill it with 100 other people in an almighty lag orgy before waiting 20 minutes and flying to the next spot, and that's not especially compelling really, is it? I do really like the new thing that the bosses do, where they appear in the world and on the map, but then don't actually become attackable for a while, so everyone can get there before it's killed. But yeah, personally, I find the 100% predictable 20-minute rotation a little bit uninspiring. I suppose the problem is that 34 slot bag bag. It's so good a reward that you're going to really upset players if they don't feel like they've had a fair shot at killing Bagman and looting it. And I get that, but I miss that feeling of thinking, oh, maybe I'll just fly around the map for a bit, see if any rares pop up, because now I know exactly where and when each rare will pop up. So yeah, I like the dailies for sure, and it's wonderful being back in Icecrown, and it is useful for gearing up my lesser alts, so it's cool. I like it, and it's not the main event anyway, because for the real fun, we have the crazy, trolling, mischievous, stupid Scourge Invasions. You know, the Scourge Invasions. With, like, the Scourge being all invadey and that. Blizz, help me out here. Succumb to the Scourge! A shipment of crates have been delivered to Orgrimmar and Stormwind, and reports indicate that anyone who interacts with them becomes infected. If you succumb to the Scourge, you will become a zombie and can attack your newfound foes with several abilities to maim and infect those who you used to stand with in life. Yeah, that Scourge Invasion, I didn't make it up. I told you, it totally exists. So let's cut live to the undead carnage happening in Stormwind right now. Where are the invasions, Blizz? I logged on multiple times every single day since this patch went live, and I haven't seen a single zombie or crate. And okay, so I wasn't really looking out for the crates to be fair, but I have not seen a single thing out of the ordinary. I've had people insist that they have seen like a zombie player once a couple of days ago or whatever, but presumably they just died of shame because they thought they were going to a zombie party, but when they got there, everyone else was dressed totally normally and they were the only zombies there. Like, seriously, did you give us the wrong location for the event, Blizz? If I head over to Stormwind or Orgrimmar Total Landscaping right now, will I find an awesome zombie bloodbath going down without me? Where are the zombies? But I don't see any Scourge. Stop lying to people. There is no zombie plague. Communicate with us or lose subscriptions. Your choice, CS. There's no zombie plague, no infected crates, no content. GG, Blizz. And look, I'm very aware that many of you will be extremely pleased about the lack of cannibalistic edgelords running around cities, stopping you from getting stuff done, and that is absolutely fine. But I, for one, was really looking forward to this part of the patch, and not because I wanted to enjoy forming huge groups and decimating Goldshire on Argent Dawn, but because... okay, it was because of that, but we have to ask, where are the zombies, Blizz? Is it a bug? Are they just not appearing? Were you so scared of the, in fairness, completely guaranteed forum backlash that would have come with more regular, bigger events that you watered it down so much that now no one even notices that it's happening? Someone please help me out in the comments. Let me know if you've seen any of these things. I'm getting desperate. Like, at this point, if I were to see a zombie in a city, I would roll out the red carpet for it and welcome it with open arms, and I don't think that's quite the terror they were going for. And with all that covered, and with a few more short quests coming this week, are the nasty comments correct? Is this a boring pre-patch? It's all relative, isn't it, really? Have I found it boring? No, not at all. I've had a great time sipping on my Budweiser and just enjoying the taste again. I got a top tier story beat and cinematic to enjoy. I get to run around Icecrown killing stuff on my gamillions of alts. I'm looking forward to logging in each day. Is it boring compared to other pre-patches though? You have to say, it doesn't compare very well to the heights of the War of Thorns or the Legion Invasions, certainly. Those events raised the stakes considerably for the coming expansion. They felt like there was danger looming just over the horizon, which is not a feeling that Shadowlands' is offering has managed yet, with its tightly scheduled rares, conveyor belt, and non-existent invasions. And it's true, there have been mitigating circumstances. You sense that if last week's content had launched at the same time as the new leveling and class changes and customization options, like it was probably planned to before the delay happened, then community feeling would be a lot more enthusiastic, because that would then be a lot to be getting on with in the first week. But still, it doesn't look like it's going to go down as a stone cold classic yet. And hear me out, Blizz, because this is how we save this, okay? Going into this last week of the pre-patch, you find your Scourge Invasion dial wherever it is, if you've even got one, and you turn that mother up to 11. True, your servers might melt with all the death and carnage. True, your forum servers will definitely melt with all the salt and QQ. True, 90% of the player base will hate you for 7 days. But people will sure as shit remember it though, won't they?
Hello, yeah, it's me, Taliesin, with a new insert that I'm putting into the weekly reset after I've already rendered it once to put it in though, because as I was putting this onto YouTube, Blizzard on a Monday have started phase 2 of the pre-patch, which includes the Scourge Invasions. On a Monday though. And Wowhead are reporting it, as they should because they're excellent, and putting a link up to that Blizzard blue post that I've been quoting throughout this segment, as if that blue post didn't come out last week. Everything I say in this video still stands. It still stands, Blizz. I see you coming out with this shit on a Monday. But yeah, basically the Scourge Invasions are here now, but I'll be damned if I'm cutting out of the video, and I'll be damned if I'm changing the thumbnail, Blizzard! I actually feel really bad asking you this at the end of the episodes now, because I know like you're super busy raising a human being while I'm tip-tapping up here for most of the day, but have you had the chance to play any of the pre-patch yet?
I have, actually.
You have? What, the new stuff that came out this week?
The new stuff.
And how did you find it?
You know what? It was okay. It
A
was good.
glowing review.
Yeah, the baby was napping, and it was like my glorious free time. It was incredible. It's like, you know, when you watch a movie on a plane, and it's always the best movie ever.
Yes.
Like,
Remember that time we got off a plane, and you're like, what did you watch? I was like, I watched Baby Driver, and it's the best movie ever made.
to be fair, I have also watched Baby Driver on a plane, on a different plane, and it is really good to watch on a plane because you're like wearing your headphones anyway.
The pre-patch is like our Baby Driver then.
Yeah, but no, I really enjoyed it. I did the stuff, and I got my dailies, and then I realized I don't really need them because I don't need the gear. But I am gonna do it on my alt.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah.
Awesome. Your Shadow Priest?
My Shadow Priest. My Draenei Shadow Priest with really cool twisty horns. And you know, Draenei casting animations.
I love it when they're like that. If you had a choice, would you go and do your dailies, or would you watch Baby Driver right now?
Oh my god, Baby Driver. Like...
Sorry, Blizz.
Can I do both?
Yes, you know, you actually can, because do you know what I love to do while I'm doing my dailies in Icecrown?
What?
I love to watch videos on my other screen, or
more.
sometimes on my main screen if I know I've got a big wait waiting at the exact spot that a rare is about to spawn in 15 minutes time. I watch a video. And do you know what video I might be watching this week? Blizzard animation panels at CTN, the Creative Talent Network.
Ooh, okay, so if you don't know what CTN is, their expo is like the biggest animation conference expo in the world, basically. So if you're in the industry and you like animation, you basically go to this thing.
I know people who are in the animation industry.
Do you?
Blizzard and their cinematics department, who make all the cinematics, which I quite like. And I couldn't help noticing, Evitel, that at CTN, which is streaming live online and is also archiving the panels as well, so if you don't watch them on live, you can just watch them on the website later. I couldn't help noticing that they have got 3 Blizzard panels starting on Monday the 16th, which may or may not be in the past by the time you watch this video.
Knows?
But it's a really good one. It's Motion Story, which is the 2.5D cinematics, Blizzard call them. So that's your Warbringers, that's your Harbingers, that's your Afterlives.
Harbingers.
Yeah, that's your Hearthstone ones. Diablo had some of those as well. Overwatch ones too, they have. And there are some amazing people on that panel. Names you might have heard of, like Brian Horn and Doug Alexander. Like actual Blizzard cinematic legend, and more. You'll never guess who's hosting that panel, Evitel.
Oh, me.
Yes,
Me.
it is. It's you.
Oh, it is me.
It's you.
Me. And you.
And
It's
me.
It's both
and
of
me.
us.
We are hosting that panel, and it's going to be amazing. We're going to have stories, we're going to have anecdotes, we're going to have insights into their creative process, making these incredible cinematics. It's going to be really, really cool. So whether you can watch it live or online later on, please join us. You have to get tickets because it's a conference, right? But they're free. All you got to do is like sign up on the website and get them, and then you can watch those things. And I can promise you, it's going to be an amazing panel. And that's not all, because the next day, on the 17th, is the cinematic directing panel featuring some names you'll definitely have heard of. People like Terran Gregory and Mark Messenger, and like actual genuine legends of the Blizzard directing scene. And they will again be telling stories and talking about their process. So the Sourfang cinematic, the Diablo 4 cinematic trailer.
Not just WoW, all over Blizz.
Man.
And
it's going to be
we love a
so
good cinematic,
cool. And you'll never guess who's hosting that panel, Evitel.
Who?
Me. You and you as well.
And me.
We're both hosting that one as well. It's going to be absolutely incredible. And please join us for that one too. And that's not all, because on Wednesday, on the 18th, there's another cinematic panel about storyboarding. And I don't know who's on that one, and I don't know who's hosting it.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Not
but
us.
it's probably going to be really, really good.
Yeah,
so
of course
check that
it
one
is.
out as well.
It's going to be really good.
So, in short, check it out starting Monday, the 16th, at noon Pacific time. Google it. I don't know what time that actually is.
You should probably find out what time it is.
Yeah, actually, we do need to know what time it is.
In fairness.
So, motion story the next day. There's a panel on cinematic directing.
Brian Horn's sitting at home now like, oh my god.
Can't bin him.
Why did we get him?
Put him in the trash.
Don't get so engrossed in them that you miss Bagman. Always fun, Bagman.
Yeah, don't.
Get that bag. I've missed Bagman
have the
twice
bag?
today. No, I missed him twice today.
God.
Twice I looked on Wowhead and I saw it. I was like, oh, okay, I'll make a note of that. And then twice I was like, oh.
I mean, Bagman is one of those things I'm literally never gonna get because the chances of it aligning with the baby napping are like infinitesimal. You know, it's like one of those like planetary alignment moments. It's probably never gonna happen.
With me, I literally just forget. So join us for CTN. Thank you for joining us for this video. If you liked it, don't thank us. Thank our patrons who give their actual real life money to make all of our videos happen. Thank you, patrons. Without you, there'd be a whole lot less Taliesin and Evitel. Yeah. And we couldn't afford food. Or our massive lighting bill, which pays for this paradise behind us.
Yeah. On the plus side, we don't have to use heating in this room, so...
I am so hot for our patrons right now. As always, if you didn't like it, downvote the shit out of it. Remember, my name is Willy. No, my name is Taliesin from me.
And me, Evitel.
Until next time. Oh, and from an Iron as well. Good sleepy little boy. Good boy. Good boy. He's not there. That's the monitor. We wouldn't put him on the table.
No, we wouldn't do that.
It'd break. He's too big.
Okay, bye guys.
Cheerio.